It didn't take much time for lives to be absolutely burnt, dreams to be ashed in Hyderabad when 17 people of a family died in the most horrific way. And this happened just 100 meters from the world famous Charminar. The fire, the Inferno, which started early morning, 11 fire tenders were rushed to the spot, but it ended up resulting death of 17 people and serious injuries to others. Now, both the state government and the central government have, in fact, offered compensation, but will have lessons been learned so that this doesn't keep repeating in a country like India.
Less than 100 meters from the iconic Charminar, a massive fire. At the Gulzar House, pearl shops on the ground floor, homes behind and above. A suspected short circuit caused massive smoke and fire early on Sunday morning. 17 people from a single family were killed, including 8 children. This is the building where, in fact, the fire happened. There's a residential apartment right on top of this line of shops. These are all jewelry shops that sell pearls and gold and other jewelry for people who are coming shopping to the Charminar area. And this is where a fire broke out early this morning. What we understand is that electric short circuit may have led to the fire. There were all from a single family, 17 deaths from a single family. Investigators say the reason for the huge number of deaths is because there was a single narrow pathway for access and escape that hindered rescue operations.
Due to only a single entry point, there was another entry point drilled. And from that entry point, the fire department and police entered and they have extinguished the fire and rescued whoever was inside.
At the entrance, there were two-wheelers were there. And some two-wheelers also caught fire. One of them, there was a blast also in a two-wheeler.
Daughters and grandchildren had all come home for the summer holidays. Inhaling the toxic smoke from the fire is suspected to have made those inside unconscious within minutes. As soon as that fire started erupting, there is a compressor that also burst and there is a huge smoke that came out, and that smoke kind of became a gas chamber, a death trap for people who were inside. Some locals say the fire engines had run out of water. The fire department said 11 fire tenders, a firefighting robo, 17 fire officers and 70 personnel, along with help from locals and the police, had tried to rescue those trapped, extinguish the fire and stopped it from spreading.
हम लोग तो 13 लोग को निकाले हम लोग लेडीज़ है सो 5-6 लेडीज़ है और जेंट्स 3 है और बाकी का बेबी है. हम लोग ऊपर के रूम में से निकाला, फर्स्ट फ्लोर से 7 जनों को निकाले और उसमें 4 ऐसा बेबी है. रूम में गए बाद में पूरा लेडी ऐसा बच्चों को ऐसा लपट के ऐसा पूरे डेट हो गए थे मैडम.
All the shopkeepers, they should understand that fire will not spare anybody. So it may happen to anybody like this. Nobody expected this kind of incident. So they have to take adequate precautions. At least some fire alarm, smoke alarm should be there in the shops, particularly where mixed up. At the same hour, there was a fire call at Chandrayanagutta also. And our people could save 50 people from the G+3 building. So it all depends on the kind of building.
Some shopkeepers blamed sharp voltage fluctuations for the fire.
I am one of the person who was aggrieved. Even my shop got fire last week. But it was in daytime, we could able to call the fire engine came on the time and we could able to survive. This particular family who was very close to me, my old association member since 100 years.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Revanth Reddy expressed shock over the fire tragedy and announced ex gratia to the victim families.
तो हम लोग सरकार जब तुरंत समाचार मिलते ही फायर सब लोग आए और सरकार के तरफ से ऐसा इंसिडेंट के ऊपर रिव्यू करेंगे. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी भी हो, फायर भी हो, एक्सीडेंट ना हो, तो सरकार के तरफ से काफ़ी नहीं है, जनता का भी शामिल होना चाहिए.
These are all almost Nizam era establishments, hardly modernized or renovated, and hardly any space at all for any kind of an escape route or access for the water and people to go in and take out the victims from inside. All that leading to this massive, huge tragedy here in Charminar in Hyderabad with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and understand this. What needs to be done, and what, in fact, at this moment is what we are not doing, because this is not the only fire incident that has taken place. There are others which are being reported from across the country as well. In Maharashtra, 8 people, I beg your pardon, have also died in a fire at a factory. We are also hearing of a blaze which is coming in. In fact, from story coming in from Kerala as well. So far, hopefully, nobody has lost their life. But remember, 8 people died in this factory fire in Maharashtra as well. Let me very quickly just go across to my guest this evening, because this is not, finger pointing particularly at one political party or government. This is something that the lessons have to be learnt across. I'm being joined by Mr. Kumbham Srinivas Reddy, spokesperson of the Congress Party, R.C. Sharma, fire safety and disaster management expert, former director, Delhi Fire Services, is also joining us at this moment. We also have Neelam Krishnamurthy and Mr. R. Krishnamurthy. Both, remember, are from the Uphaar Tragedy Association, in fact, and they've personally gone through the aftermath and the impact of losing somebody in a fire, a disaster like that, a tragedy like that. I thank all of you for joining me at this moment. I want to start, first of all, with you, Mr. Sharma, and I just want to understand from you, sir. There have been so many fires, and we keep talking about it. A few days back, there was also another fire in which, in a residential area, a lot of people lost their lives. Just for the benefit of our viewers, sir, what is it that we are not doing specifically in areas like, let's say, Old Delhi, or in Hyderabad, the Charminar area, where the structures are very old, buildings, in fact, have been there for hundreds of years? Do we leave them for destiny, or is there a plan in place, things that need to be done?
Good evening. I think when you say this about fire safety, we generally talk more about the high-rise buildings, which are buildings more than 15 meters, and they come under the rule for fire safety norms. But other buildings like hospitals and assembly buildings, they up to 9 meters, they don't need any fire clearance or anything. Above 9 meters, they need something. So this speaks about the rule regulation, because if that rules are made, normally they are followed by the new buildings, new constructions. But when you talk about old buildings like Old Delhi or maybe Hyderabad, these congested areas, see, the two things are there. One is detection of fire, what time we detect, what time we come to know. If we are sleeping, then there is a need of some smoke alarm or something which can wake us up, and then we try to get out quickly. Next is, if we have got some reasonable number of means of escape so that people can get out. In this, the access to for the fire brigade, that comes secondary, because that takes time to inform fire brigade. They come and they try to extinguish the fire. But saving life and extinguishing the fire is two different things. And in the life safety, we have seen Neelamji is there, and I have gone through that same fire incident in Uphaar, Delhi. We have seen that everybody, almost 99% people, they are dying because of smoke inhalation from the fire. So they are trapped, they are not able to get out. So now, managing the smoke is the next important thing. We don't have to take care of, say, high-rise building or low-rise building. We have seen 2-3 story buildings. People are dying in that. And especially the mixed occupancy, where we have got some commercial activities at lower floor and sleeping accommodation in the upper floors. There it is more dangerous in that sense, because something goes wrong during night especially, then there is no fire alarm because it's not required as per the law. So then we have these type of problems. So things which can be done is that something smoke venting, we have to have natural provision for natural smoke venting, or maybe something mechanical venting. So that has to be thought of in such areas.
The problem, sir, that we see is that, a lot of these things are spoken about only after a tragedy has struck. But are there some, Mr. Reddy, is there some responsibility of the local, municipality, of the government, of people to ensure that even if they are old buildings, now, as of now, it is being said it all started from a short circuit. with low-hanging wires and all. Is there a responsibility? Does the buck stop anywhere, or can we just say old buildings, people are responsible? If they die in fire, they die?
Basically, it's a very sad incident and heartrending incident which has happened today. And sir, because if we are looking at the present situation is Charminar, where at least the fire tender could reach out to this place. If you see beyond this shops, the roads are so small, narrow, that only two-wheelers can also go inside, and a lot of business establishments are over there also. These are all establishments which have been there, for a very long period of time, probably Nizam era time. So most of these people, generations together, they have been doing their businesses over there while conducting the business over there, and they are staying on top of the establishments. In these buildings, as Mr. Sharma has rightly said, there ought to be some sort of fire safety measures taken, even though they are old buildings. Right now,
sir, I beg your pardon, but I'm interrupting you here. Yeah. The point is not what should have happened. I'm saying, is there an oversight? Or have these people, those who are living in these old buildings, they have been left to their fate? If you die in fire, you die in fire. After that, we'll come and say, this should have happened, that should have happened. Who will ensure this and that should have happened does take place? Shouldn't the municipality, or the onus should be on the government, on the municipality, to ensure that there are certain basic procedures, protocols which are put in place, sir?
Yeah, there has to be right now, because what is happening is the way we are all looking at the new buildings which are coming place, and 9 meters and 15 meters above buildings they are asked to put all these things in place, whereas all these old buildings, they have never been taken into consideration. Right now, I think today the ministers, the deputy chief minister has also stated that they would be calling for a review meeting and trying to get all these buildings also under the purview of the Fire Safety Act. And definitely,
my question still remains unanswered, that, after this incident has happened, we are hearing all these noises of Fire Safety Act and a complete revision and all these surveys and so on and so forth. And Neelam Krishnamurthy, if I may bring you in, madam, like I said, I mean, does the buck stop anywhere, or only after something happens? We hear the same noises. This should have happened. There should have been ventilation. No, we are looking into it again. It just seems that people have been left to fend for themselves. Even if I am not aware, shouldn't the government, you enforce the penalty on helmet and other traffic challans? Why can't the same be done on the fire safety, ma'am?
Yeah, first of all, Ankit, my heartfelt condolences to the family who've lost 17 members. And now I'd like to come on to this. In fact, what you just said, that has been my issue, that if a minister dies, the traffic rules are changed. The heavy penalties are imposed, and hence you will find people are scared for violating the traffic norms. Why is it not done in case of fire? We lost our children 28 years back. Our entire endeavor was to ensure that the tragedies would come down. There'll be, less people will start following the fire safety rules in letter and spirit, not just for the sake of it. And a lot of human lives can be saved. But unfortunately, this has not happened. And the factors which are responsible is that, number one, nobody in our country values fire safety. What is important is that everybody should know fire safety matters. It goes a long way in saving lives. We don't have a war every day, but we keep our army ready. We just proven that we had an army to handle the war, right? Similarly, a fire doesn't happen every day. It can happen anytime. And that's when you realize, oh my God, it can happen to me also. Here, everybody thinks, "Arey, roz thodi aag lagti hai, hame thodi kuch hoga." That attitude has to go. And another thing which is important is everybody talks about Fire Safety Act and rules being there for only 9 meters high or 15 meters high. Are you trying to tell me that the buildings which are less than 9 meters or less than 15 meters, there'll be no fire incidents there?
Absolutely.
Aren't they supposed to be following the fire safety measures? Does it cost so much? You're saying these are old buildings, but they can be retrofitted. How much does it cost to get them retrofitted? This is no excuse to say, oh, these are old buildings.
Absolutely. I totally agree. these are excuses, and like you rightly pointed out, and this is exactly what I'm asking today. Will we ever learn these lessons? Because Mr. Krishnamurthy, it always seems what has happened in Uphaar, and I was playing those visuals as well, like you've been saying, of course, it completely devastates families. It takes a turn on people's life. And till now, it doesn't seem that any lessons have been learned, sir. It just seems that both the policymakers, also the people, think all these fire hazards, people dying in fires, it happens to somebody else. It can never happen to you.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, Ankit. First of all, I want to say that any fire tragedy you see, Mr. Sharma will agree with me, means of egress. That is the main important issue. The basic thing, if there was a proper means of egress, everybody could have been saved. Here also, I read in your NDTV app that again, the problem was there was no proper means of escape. That is the issue. And people have died of asphyxia. Same issue like what happened in any other fire incident. And nothing has been learned since then. Now they're talking about bringing in changes now. Why? They've seen so many, you said you just, in the beginning of the news, you showed so many in Kerala, in Maharashtra, they've been fire. Why can't they learn? That is our issue, and that's what we've been fighting for. And we have brought in some changes in multiplexes and commercial buildings. But unfortunately, this small building, like what Neelam said, they have to have some strict norms. Now, today, tomorrow, you'll see that there'll be buck will be passed from one department to the other. There'll not be any accountability in this country. And fire is an issue. Fire safety matters. Why can't these administration people understand? Where was police? Where was municipal corporation before giving them the license? Why should the commercial and the residential building should be in the same place? Not that they were 100 years old during the Nizam period was there. I think it's not the issue we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Now we have changed.
The world has changed from the Nizam era, and Mr. Reddy, let me bring you in, sir. Like both those people, those who have dedicated their lives as far as fire safety or at least sensitivity around those incidents are concerned, trying to hold people accountable. Shouldn't there be some accountability in this case as well? Mixed-use building, we just can't say that it was only a residential building. There are shops, there as well. Should not there be at least somebody who should pay the price, sir?
I totally personally agree with you on this issue, but this situation is that it's not only the government which is tries to bring in the changes. The people also have to change. It is not easy because of people staying there for so many years. It's not easy to bring about a change in them. Their mindset also needs to change. Just because we have some set of rules, these people, it's not that even if we try to put across, it is not easy for us to get the mindset or change the mindset of the people. So first we need to have some civic training here.
Sir, I'll be very honest, while I partially agree with you that there needs to be more sensitivity around the fire safety, but I'm sorry, this is not an excuse to say that, some set of rules, if the government wants to come down, and we have seen it on various issues, if the government wants to in fact come down, the system can do exactly whatever they want. And how is it that when the chief minister, his convoy goes, the roads are absolutely empty and there is no traffic chaos, but then of course it is not followed by for common people? And I'm just giving you an example. When you want to enforce it in cities, people wear their helmets when they drive two-wheelers. The government will have to put its foot down, sir, if there is any value to life. Let me very quickly, before I go to Mr. Sharma on this, I just want to quote some examples. Hyderabad is not the only one where 17 people have died, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, I'm not here to point fingers. If that was the case, I would have got somebody from the BJP and there could have been a contest between the BJP and the Congress on this. We just want discussion to be around the fact of how lives matter. Common people's lives also matter. We are talking about Hyderabad. Let me just take you back, a little bit back. To 18th May 2025, what happened in Hyderabad. But before that, there was a fire at Gulzar House. This is the Hyderabad one, Rituraj Hotel fire in Kolkata, which killed 14 people. It happened on April 29, 2025. In Delhi, the national capital, a children's hospital burned down. 7 newborns were killed. It happened in May 26, 2024. Gaming zone fire in May 25, 2024 in Rajkot, 27 people died. A chemical factory fire in Thane killed 10 people. It also was in May 2024. Residential building fire in Delhi, 3 people died. Paint factory fire in Alipur, 11 people died. Mr. Sharma, I can go on with this list, sir. While there is a whole talk about, accountability, sensitivity around these cases, it does seem, sir, that the existing laws, the existing rules are not even enforced the way they should have been. Somewhere, the government, the fire department would also have to take responsibility, isn't it, sir?
No, there are 2 things. See, one is the availability of the rules. Whether these things which you are talking, are they covered in the rules? They are not. If it is low rise, less than 9 meters, residential area, it is not covered in the rules. So one thing, we can bring these things also in the rules, then enforcing will be a problem. I agree with Mr. Krishnamurthy, because he mentioned that means of escape availability, especially in the old buildings. Is it feasible to widen the staircase or create additional means of escape? I think it is not. Is it possible to segregate or compartmentalize the, say, floors like that? Upper floors, they don't use the same staircase which is being used by the ground floor, because their shops are there. So many times people have to cross through the occupied ground floor to go to the upper floors, because this is belonging to the same people. They are shops and they are living upstairs. Possibly that also there. Now, enforcing this is a big problem. Making a rule for this, only thing is, if these means of escape were available somehow, if there was some little time available for them, smoke was going or directed in a proper manner or vented out, or it was segregated or separated from the means of escape. How it is, we have to see that, is it feasible to be done in the existing old buildings? And wherever it is feasible, this is to be done. And the next thing possible is the home alarm, or you can stand alone. Alarms are there, just like a bulb. You just put it in anywhere in the kitchen or in the house. If there is a fire, smoke, then immediately it gives you alarm in about 30-40 seconds. So you can start evacuating. Initially, it is easy. But if there is a delay of 2 minutes or 3 minutes, even which is very possible, then the time of survival and the possibility, chances of survival becomes very bleak.
Because in this case also, there are many people, those who have died of smoke inhalation. I want to give the last word to you, Mr. and Mrs. Krishnamurthy. Mrs. Krishnamurthy, I would like to begin with you. Ma'am, do you feel that the attitude, not just of the authorities, but also of the people, like we've been discussing, we are talking about it right now, we'll forget it till the next big tragedy happens, and I'm going to get you back on the show and we are going to ask the same questions and we will move on. It's just that there is no life attached. Neither people give preference to their own lives, nor to the people that live around them. And hence, we are in this spiral, a vicious circle, where we keep talking about this. People, those who lose their lives are changed, and everybody else moves on.
Absolutely. That is the basic question. The thing I've seen in the last 28 years, fire safety is not a priority, neither for our politicians, not for ordinary citizens. Nobody gives priority to this, although it's very, very important, and fire can happen anywhere, anytime. But small measures can make a lot of difference, which we are not willing to take. Like Mr. Sharma said, maybe a fire alarm, a smoke detector, and the means of escape available. I don't think it's very difficult to have them retrofitted in the old buildings also. But people's mindset needs to change. Why haven't we all adapted to the new traffic rules when they say if you jump a red light, the fine is so much? Similarly, I think people should be fined by the authorities. If you're not complying with the fire safety norms, you'll have to pay a fine. And people will try, they'll actually understand that it's for their own good. Because a fire can happen in their own house, their own family. Like in this case, the entire family is gone. It's so sad.
Yes.
But, I think that's how we all need to learn. Yes, this can happen to us. So let's all be fire safe. Because my message to everyone is, it's going to be 28 years since we lost our children. And I'm very sorry to say, I feel really, I feel defeated that the purpose hasn't been solved. Both of us set out to see that there'll be some fire safety
Absolutely.
awareness among the people, and they'll do something about fire safety. So please, I want to tell everyone, fire safety matters. Please take steps to ensure fire safety in your own houses, your offices, wherever you are
Mr.
working.
Krishnamurthy,
A small step can make a lot of difference.
Absolutely. Mr. Krishnamurthy, is it time for a relook as far as the rules are concerned and the way a full campaign as far as fire safety is concerned around the country? If we can have campaign about tobacco, if we can have campaigns about TB, why not about fire safety? Because in just one moment, you see how people's lives are lost in the, completely burnt. Dreams, lives, families, all burnt.
Of course, Ankit, that's a good idea that there has to be a campaign. Public should participate. I'm sure media also should come forward and for fire safety at least. Now the question here is that we have seen so many fire incidents. The government has not done anything, and we asked the government to bring in a new law to deal with man-made disasters. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Even in the Law Commission has given a report. It's lying in the obscure corner of the government department somewhere. We don't know what's happening. Because why? I don't understand why the fire safety is not being taken seriously in this country. That's important.
Absolutely.
The most important thing. And people have to participate. Like you rightly said, the owners and occupiers are also equally responsible.
Yes.
They also have to take, and like Mr. Sharma said, that old building, why can't the authorities go and say when they can renovate the shop, have all the modern gadgets, why can't they do
has
something
to come
about
as a hammer. If you don't follow the rules, it has to come down as a hammer, like
It has
we've
to come
seen
as
with
a
the
hammer.
traffic rules. Otherwise, we'll keep losing lives, meaningless loss of lives because of callousness as far as these fires are concerned. I'm completely out of time. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me at this moment on this. It's a serious discussion, ladies and gentlemen. We need to keep having it because please don't think it can never happen to you. Accidents do happen, and it happens at people or with people like you and I. Thank you so much for being with us.